The case started when a 24-year-old Shannan Gilbert had disappeared in the area in May 2010 after fleeing from a client's home and making a 23-minute-long emergency call to 911, saying, "They're trying to kill me."
State Police, Trooper Fry. State Police.
Yeah, there's somebody after me.
I'm sorry?
There's somebody after me.
Where are you?
There's somebody after me.
Okay, where are you?
There's somebody after me.
Where are you, ma'am?
I don't know.
You're driving right now?
No, I'm inside the house.
I'm sorry?
I'm inside the house.
What house?
I don't know. Can you trace where I am?
I'm sorry?
Can you trace where I am?
No, I can't.
A month after her disappearance, the Suffolk County Police Department's Missing Persons Bureau asked Officer John Malia to search for Gilbert with his trained cadaver dog, a German shepherd named Blue. After unsuccessful search of May, Malia made a new attempt on the 11th of December 2010. Malia based his choice of search area on FBI data, indicating that dumped bodies are frequently found close to roadways. Despite thick vegetation and a light layer of snow, Malia's cadaver dog alerted to a scent which the pair tracked to a skeleton in a disintegrating burlap bag. The remains were later identified as Melissa Barthelomy's. Police discovered 3 additional bodies while searching the scene for further evidence. The bodies of the 4 victims, Maureen Brainerd, Melissa Bartholomew, Megan Waterman, and Amber Costello, were found approximately 150 meters from each other. In March 2011, partial remains of Jessica Taylor were found along Ocean Parkway. 8 years earlier, in 2003, other parts of Taylor's remains had been found in Manorville, a town in Suffolk County. The next month, in April 2011, police discovered 3 additional sets of remains: an unidentified female toddler, an unidentified Asian person, and Valerie Mack, partial remains of whom, like those of Jessica Taylor, had been found in Manorville years earlier in November 2000. 2 more bodies were found in Nassau County: Karen Vergata, whose partial remains had previously been found on Fire Island in 1996, and an unidentified woman with a distinctive tattoo of peaches who was later found to be the mother of the unidentified toddler found in Suffolk County. On May 9, 2011, police speculated that because of similarities in the cases, Valerie Mack, who at the time was unidentified, and Jessica Taylor may have been murdered by a second, separate killer. On November 29, 2011, police announced that they believed one person to be responsible for all 10 murders and that the perpetrator is almost certainly from Long Island. The single killer theory stems from common characteristics between the condition of the remains and forensic evidence related to the bodies. In June 2011, Suffolk County Police announced a $25,000 reward for information leading to an arrest in the Long Island murders. Shannan Gilbert's remains were located in Oak Beach in December 2011, 19 months after her disappearance. The cause of her death is contested. On December 13, 2011, police announced that the remains of Shannan Gilbert had been found in a marsh about half a mile from where she had disappeared. A week earlier, some of her clothing and belongings had been discovered in the same vicinity. Gilbert was last seen banging on a resident's door and screaming for help before running off into the night. Gilbert made an emergency 911 call that night, saying that she feared for her life. Police have stated that the death of Gilbert, a woman whose disappearance triggered the search during which the first set of bodies was found, is unrelated to the Long Island serial killer case. Gilbert's now deceased mother, Mari Gilbert, advocated for the theory that her daughter had been murdered by a serial killer. On December 10, 2015, Suffolk County Police Commissioner Tim Sini announced that the FBI had officially joined the investigation. The announcement came one day after former police chief James Burke was indicted for civil rights violations and conspiracy. Burke, who resigned from the department in October 2015, was reported to have blocked FBI involvement in the Gilgo Beach cases for years. The FBI had previously assisted in the search for victims, but had never officially been a part of the investigation. In November 2016, Burke was sentenced to 46 months in federal prison for assault and conspiracy. On September 12, 2017, Suffolk County prosecutor Robert Biancavilla said that John Bitrolf, a Suffolk County resident convicted of murdering 2 sex workers and suspected in the murder of a third, may have committed some of the Gilgo Beach murders. Biancavilla said that Bitrolf was likely responsible for the deaths of other women, and that there were similarities between the Gilgo Beach crime scenes and Bitrolf's known murders, for which he was convicted in May 2017 and sentenced in September. In July 2023, Rex Heuermann, 59-year-old Nassau County resident, was arrested in Midtown Manhattan and subsequently charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder, as well as 3 counts of the lesser charge of second-degree murder related to the deaths of Melissa Barthelemy, Megan Waterman, and Amber Costello. He is also the prime suspect in the death of Maureen Brainerd Barnes. Heuermann pleaded not guilty. Heuermann is an architect and has lived much of his life in Massapequa Park on Long Island. In an interview on YouTube, Heuermann stated he has worked in Manhattan since 1987.
Rex Heuermann, I'm an architect, I'm an architectural consultant, I'm a troubleshooter, born and raised on Long Island.
Okay.
Been working in Manhattan since 1987. I do troubleshooting, architectural troubleshooting, and negotiations with the building department.
Okay.
What I mean by that is, do we do the standard stuff with the building department, handle your filings? I have other clients who are a lot of other architects, and we'll handle their interactions with the building department, especially out-of-city architects, because they're a little afraid of the city. And when a job that should have been routine suddenly becomes not routine, I get the phone call.
Gotcha.
Whether it's an old building and they need somebody that understands and can maneuver the 1938 building code, or the current building code. You look surprised when I say 1938 building code. I've actually used the 1901 old tenement laws here in the city of New York, and you can legally do so.
Authorities began to seriously consider Heuermann as a suspect in March 2022, after discovering that a Chevrolet Avalanche registered in his name had been linked to one of the killings by a witness. According to investigators, his cell phone records indicate he had been in contact with 3 of the 4 victims, and an email account linked to Heuermann had conducted online searches of the investigation's progress. Court records also indicated that he had searched the internet for sadistic materials, child pornography, and images of the victims and their relatives. Mitochondrial DNA testing indicated Heuermann as a potential match when hair found on the burlap wrappings of one of the bodies was compared to a sample gleaned from a pizza crust in a box he had discarded. A potential match to Heuermann's wife was also found when comparing hair found on or near 3 of the victims to samples taken from bottles found in the trash outside the Heuermann residence. Investigators stated that his wife and children were out of state at the time, during which the killings were believed to have occurred.